Hey guys, Larry Koch from Brainy Marketing here, and today we're going to spend 5 minutes calculating for you customer lifetime value, otherwise known as CLV or lifetime value of a client. That is a really important metric if you want to do effective digital marketing, because without a sensible number for CLV that you can agree on, you really don't know what you should be spending on digital advertising to bring new customers. Okay, so that's why it's super important. We're going to cover it and break it down. If you just get a notepad and piece of paper, I promise you, if you follow along, you take a few notes, you'll be able to calculate on this call a good sensible number for CLV. It doesn't need to be as complicated as people make it out to be. Just try and focus here for a few minutes, and I promise we're going to sort you out with CLV. Okay, so let's take the example of e-commerce and a service business, all right, or a repeating business. So let's say you have an e-commerce store, everyone makes purchases on that store. You need to work out what is the average purchase going to be. It might be, let's say, £50 for an average basket of goods. Likewise with services, you might sell lots of different services, but what is the average retainer, let's say, that a client is going to take? Is it 2K per month retainer, 3K per month retainer, 1K per month retainer? Is it, 3 payments of $5,000? You need to just work out what the average payment per customer is going to be. Next, you need to work out how many of those payments can you expect over the lifetime of the customer and your relationship. So most relationships people put at 3 years. So you need to work out how many purchases or periods that they're going to be within that 3 years. So for e-commerce, it might be, you might have a business where people need to repeat buy a lot. They need to buy every single month. Or you might have an e-commerce business where it's really a product that only once every 6 months people need to repeat buy. Maybe you have a product that people never repeat buy. It's usually just once in a lifetime type thing. So you need to work out how many times over 3 years are people going to realistically pay for your product on your e-commerce store. Same with services. What is the average length of time that somebody is going to be with you? So that 2K a month retainer, are they going to quit after 6 months on average? Are they going to quit after 12 months? How long are your contracts? How realistically are you going to actually get everyone to that length? Do you have any add-on services that you typically charge? Do you typically start with a small budget, but then it ends up being a lot larger? You need to kind of work out over the 3 years, what is the average amount going to be, and how many times are they going to make? How many months they're going to stick with you? So that will give you a full number. So the average customer is worth this much revenue to me over 3 years. So for e-commerce, it might be a bit smaller. So it might be like, £500 of purchases I'm expecting from this one person on average. For services, it might be 20K I'm expecting over the course of knowing them for an average customer. But that is just the revenue. So that's just the first step of the process, right? So once you've got that, you should probably be able to work it out in your head. You can look online. Some of this data is actually available for some of your competitors, or some of the big competitors already online. But it is really a kind of exercise you just need to think through as someone who knows the industry, who's been researching, who's got a business plan. You should have a good idea. But once you have that number, you know how much money you're ideally going to make off each customer. Now to work out the value. In order to work out the value, you need to subtract now the costs that you're reasonably going to incur to deliver those services or produce that product. So whether it's the people that does the work, the office, the shipping, the cost of goods sold, whatever it is, you're going to have big costs. So for instance, in a services business, that 2K a month retainer might be serviced by one person in your office who you pay 4K a month, but they can only do, they can only handle 4 clients at a time. And then you've got to add on the cost of the offices, the cost of the sales team.
A few moments later.
Cost of the offices, the cost of the sales team, whatever. All those costs need to go in there. So the value that you're going to get after all of this will be much less than the actual revenue. So for e-commerce, that £500 of total revenue might turn out to only be £100 of value. With that 20K worth of retainers in the services example might only end up being 5K of value or 3K of value. Now you have an actual number for CLV. That is what CLV is. It's that remaining value after all the costs have been taken out. This is what a client is actually worth to you. Now you know how much you should be spending to acquire a new customer in your marketing efforts. Okay, so you can see how important is this. If you just take the revenue number and you think every customer is worth 20K, you'll be paying people's hands over fist to get you customers, and you'll be surprised while your business is going down and not working every month, because each one is worth 20K. But if you knew that the real value to you was 3, 4, or 5K, you would know that you should only be spending at max like maybe £1,500 to acquire that new client. Similarly, if you are too cheap with it and you only think about the first month's retainer and you don't think about the lifetime, you're never ever going to spend enough money to get the kind of clients that you need to sustain your business. Hope that makes sense. If this was useful, please subscribe to this video and check out my other videos on CLV. More to come. Take care. Hey there, brainy marketers. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found it useful, do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video on all of your social media channels. So go ahead and do all those things, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.